I picked up, if you can see it out of the back of the truck there, 15 2x6 by 8s, all pressure treated wood, 5 2x4 by 8s, 4 4x4 by 8s, and 3 4x4 by 10s. A few odd and end pieces to be able to put some stuff together. And I am on my way home, about 20 minutes out, to put together a project for my wife and my homestead. We are new to the homestead section of the world and trying to learn a few things. And one of the things that we've learned is my wife wanted a cow. And so we have purchased a Jersey cow. They call her a non-culled cow. And when my wife said, "What does that mean, that she's not called?" And I was thinking to myself, probably that she's never answered the telephone before. But like everybody else that has a brain, I picked up my phone and I said, "Hey Siri, what is a culled cow?" And it means that she has not calved yet. She has not been impregnated. She has not given birth to another cow. So we are picking her up, or being delivered, tomorrow, which is Saturday, to the house, and she is supposedly 3 months pregnant, which means come January, the best time to have baby anythings in the middle of winter, she will be delivering a calf, hopefully, and starting a milk process or cycle, or whatever you call it in the cow. And my wife loves to make homemade butter, loves Jersey cow milk raw, and so that's what we're going to be doing. But tonight, it being 7:23 already and another 20 minutes outside from the house, I don't think I'll get a whole lot done tonight, but I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to try to go as far as I can with the stanchion tonight. I have a plan set in my brain, and I'll try to give you a little bit of video footage of that. And pardon the way that this video may be put together, because I am brand new to filming anything as far as this goes. You could ask my wife, she'd tell you I don't even take pictures very often. Most of the pictures that are already posted on my YouTube channel come from her taking the pictures for me, or a video for me, because she'll tell you I'm really not that good at it. So anyway, tonight I'm going to see how far I can get, hoping to at least maybe get some of the boards cut and the base maybe laid out. If not, try to pick it back up tomorrow. Thank you. All right, so we're home. This is what I'd call my quote-unquote wood shop in not the best of shape. But anyway, working on doing some cleaning and some organizing, because as you can see, I'm not so good at it. But anyway, I am working on things, getting my router table set up, hopefully planning to do some holes in this and do like a router bit holding scenario for what few router bits that I've got. My table saw that I built. Oh, another project that I'm working on for future is walnut and epoxy with a flower inside of it. Not so clean right now, but it's going to be a toilet paper roll holder because my wife asked for one. It tends to be why I do a lot of things, except for, of course, the bar. And I did that because some friends of mine said that they wanted a bar or thought it would be cool. And so I'd never played with epoxy before, and I thought it's a good excuse. So I did. Anyway, so you can see, sorry for the rapid movement because I'm not, once again, good with the camera thing. Lots of unorganized stuff underneath that table right there, or in that table, sorry, not under it, but underneath all the stuff that's on there is a table that I built for woodworking, and now it's junk holding. We'll come across over here real fast, and I gotta hurry because I'm running out of time. It is 7:50 p.m., which means probably got about 45 minutes of actual daylight that I'll be able to see doing anything that I'm gonna do on the cow stanchion. This was originally my wonderful DeWalt double bevel miter saw, bought roughly about 6 years ago for doing some crown molding inside of a house. Played with a lot of projects. And over here is my new Bosch. They gives me the ability to slide. I've never had that before, so I think that's fantastic. The box idea for dust collection I got from somebody else, but I definitely have not mastered that yet. Have a cheapy drill press, a cheapy sander, my DeWalt 12-inch planer, and oh yeah, of course, Dust Right, which I got from Rockler. And just FYI, I am not sponsored by anybody because I don't even really have a video going yet as far as my channel, or a channel yet go as far as my video, whichever way you want to say it. But Rockler's fantastic. I've never actually been to Woodcraft, and I'm not down in them whatsoever. They're just a little further away from my home than Rockler is. And so I was introduced more to Rockler before I ever heard about Woodcraft. I know a lot of guys on YouTube that recommend Woodcraft and recommend Rockler, but that's where I got the dust collection, and I would recommend them. They're pretty good. They're pretty solid. One day, Woodcraft folks, I'm gonna try them out too and check it out and see what I think. And then over here, my shelving, just for record, I have used 2 types of epoxy so far. Moss or mass, or however you say that, M-A-S, and the super clear liquid glass tabletop, and the thick pour. And I love that stuff. It's great. I can mess it up, but it's great. It does come out extremely super clear, as they say. Anyway, now I've got to unload some wood and make a bunch of cuts for the flooring of the stanchion. And just so you know, it's going to be 3 foot wide. So what I'm going to do is set my stop now with my handy dandy T-track that I got, and I'm going to set it at 3 foot and cut my 11 of my 2x6s down to 3 foot each till I have 22 of them, which should cover my 10-foot area with a little cutoff coming at the end, which I'll probably rip that with the table saw. If you have any suggestions on any other ways to do this, leave them in the comments, because I need every suggestion I can get. All right, I'll be back with you shortly. Hang on. Oh, and for any of you out there looking at my shop saying, what a nightmare, you're right, it is. We have wasps that fly around every once in a while, so you gotta watch them. My kids think that my hat is a magic wasp swatter, and it is, because I'm pretty good with it. The shop is a disaster. Hopefully I'm working on some things. If y'all have some suggestions or plans or anything for things to help organize it, get at it. But realistically, this was a 2-car garage turned into my wood shop. That is a 38 foot by 24 foot metal building that one day, when I have the funds, is turning into an actual wood shop for me to play in. And then one day, I might give you a video playing inside of that, which is the Kubota skid steer SVL 97. Wonderful machine, great for clearing. Anyway, so now we're gonna start unloading some wood and making some cuts. I'll show you some as we go. I'm not gonna show you every single cut that I do, but I'll show you how I set up the first one. Then, like I said, I gotta cut 11 boards this way, 22 pieces in total. And I'm not gonna show you every one of those cuts. Most of you have seen a miter saw at work. Most of you know what a stop block is, if you're watching anything woodworking. And if you don't, there are guys out there, once again, that have way better shops than I do, that can talk about those things. Or if you got questions about anything I do or anything I use, put it in the comments, and I will try my best to respond and answer. But as for now, what we're gonna do is take this and we're gonna push it up against that miter block. Sorry, not miter block, stop block, which is set at exactly 36 inches. So that each one of my cuts will all be exactly the same, and they'll be exactly 3 feet, so that whenever I go to square up my material on the platform that I'm building for the cow to walk up on, the stanchion, it'll all be the same and easier to put together and easier to square up. All right, now let's get rolling. Always push it up firmly for the straightest cut possible. Slide it up directly against your stop block so that each cut will end in the same spot. And then of course, we will turn on our handy dandy dust collector. Got one done. 20 more to go, 21 more to go. All right, be back in a minute. No, well, sorry, 22, all cut. 21 and a half is what it says that I'll need in my calculations. Sorry it took a little bit because Home Depot likes to put staples all in their wood. Anyway, so it took a minute to get all the staples ranged and, you know, out of my way so that I could actually put stuff together. And now we are going on to doing the bottom three 4x4x10s, which will play as the base that the cow will come up onto, raising her up just a little bit by roughly about 5.5 inches. So we're gonna get onto that because I want it to have a slight slope at the very end where the cow walks up onto it and then levels out. So we'll pull one out, kind of look at it, think it through for a minute, and go from there. All right, be back in a minute. All right, so here's sort of my idea. I did a measurement on my 2x6x8s that I cut down to 36 inches lengthwise each time, which are gonna be the footboards for this. And once again, I want it to have sort of a drop off for the cow to step up on, so there's no like stumping her hooves or anything like that on it. It's very easy, very gentle for her to just kind of slope up and go. So what I did on my calculations, I figured out that on average, those boards are 5 5/8 inches wide. You multiply that by 18 because I want at least an 8-foot space, and I come up with 101 inches and 1/4. And that's where I think I'm gonna square it off and slant down and leave about an inch on the bottom. I may take it completely down though. Just thinking it over, because if I leave an inch plus your 1.5 inches of the board, then I've got 2.5 inches step up space either way. If I take it all the way down, there's only 1.5 inches basically of step up space. So let's figure this out. I think I'm gonna take it all the way down. What do you think? Think I should take it all the way down? I think I'm gonna take it all the way down. Just gotta hope there's enough meat there to screw into and stop a cow from crushing it. They weigh a lot. Anyway, all right, cool. I'm gonna draw this out. I'll show you the drawing, hopefully, and then I'm gonna cut it. Good luck to me. Thank you. All right, change of plans. I butchered one of them. I only bought 3, so I squared off the end. I can't make it any shorter than it is, or at least I don't think I can. Once again, this will be my first cow to own, so I don't honestly know, but poor cow's gonna have to step up. Right now though, before I can even start on the platform, and it is getting dark out here, I have to clean up the area that I'm gonna put it in, which is inside of that cubby hole. But I have to clean all that out. And if you wanna know what all that is, it's from goats and what they release. Yeah, nasty, disgusting, and always fun to do at 8:48 at night. Here we go. No rest for the weary. Yeah, anyway, see you in a minute. Actually, probably won't see you again until tomorrow. So once I'm finished cleaning this out, I'm gonna move the wood in here, and then I'm going to take a shower. I gotta work tomorrow. Yeah, all right, later. So this is Betty. Betty is the whole reason for the stanchion that we're building. Now, I worked last night till about 9:30ish before I decided to go in. Right now, Betty is inside of a massive buck pen. There's some shelter if she needs it, and a nice mineral block over there that she can eat. Still plenty of grass on the ground in here, but she will be moving out to the pasture as soon as we get everything all situated and done, which I've got to install a gate right there. Now, if I'm moving too fast from side to side with the phone, as far as camera action, put some comments in there, because my wife says that I like to spin around entirely too fast. Now, that stanchion was originally built for Nubian Alpine mixed goats, which, FYI, they do produce some very, very good milk if you're into goat's milk. Y'all got a darkened picture of this last night. The floor was all covered in nastiness that those goats had left. And I did go ahead and get the base built. Like I said, I completely destroyed with my saw the idea of making it slant down to the floor so that the cat didn't have to step up. So just had to go straight. I put the screws in here, and then I put some screws in down there so that I could get everything squared up. Then I just laid all the rest of the boards in place, and now I'm about to go through real fast. I say real fast. Anyone who screwed this many boards together, going side, center, and side, know that it's not going to be really fast, but we will try to, go somewhat decent. But before we do, we are going to chalk line. These are handy dandy chalk line here. And realistically, you don't have to do this at all, but we're gonna do it just so that we can keep our screws in a pretty nice straight order down every part of it. Just try to keep it looking somewhat nice, though let's face it, once a cow's been up and walking on it, and every once in a while does her business on it, it's not gonna stay the most pretty. And I might end up, whenever we're all said and done, putting a rubber mat on it, one of the horse stall mats on it. This way, if she does do her business on it, it's easy to pull it off, spray it off, put it back together. But for now, I'm gonna do the chalk line on each middle or side, middle, and side, and start shooting some screws into it. And at the moment, just so you kind of know what I'm using, I am using multi-purpose 2.5 inch screws, which is more than enough to go through a 2x6 into a 4x4 and hold. So let me shoot some screws, and I'll come back to you and tell you what we're gonna do next. All right, so it is now, 6:05, so that took me probably about 15 minutes to shoot or drill in all of the screws in each one. 3 on each end in their line, 2 in each center. I only did 2 in the center because there's gonna be a weight every time someone's stepping on it, so I really don't assume anything's gonna go anywhere. I also choose to use screws because I like the way screws hold. If you wanted to use nails, you're welcome to use nails. I don't think there'd be any issue with that, other than they could potentially come loose over time as you have a 1,500 pound animal getting on and off and on and off. All right, so next, what we're gonna do is start working out the idea of here an 8-foot 4x4 going up, one on the other side going up, and then 8 foot back, which will not make it all the way to the end of our platform, but a little closer up, we're gonna have a post and a post going up. That will be what we're going to frame up so that we can have at the front a feeding trough for the cow, the bar that swings over to hold the cow's neck, and a rail that will go down each side, the left and the right, of the cow to make sure she stays in the stanchion, on the stanchion, so that the milker can sit, milk the teats, and on the back, we're gonna have 2 eye hooks. Yeah, that you can run a strap, chain, or rope across the back end of the cow from side to side. And that should keep the cow from wanting to back up, in theory. I saw it on a video, and we all know that everything on a video is accurate, right? So, anyway, I have to go get a drill bit because I want to drill through the 4x4s before I screw them to the actual bottom, because I'm going to be using the Ledger Lock 5-inch screws, because they are heavy duty, and they also have the washer end on the top, on the cap, so that I just think it'll be a little more secure, a little stronger. And I haven't decided if we're gonna do 2, 3, or 4 in each post, but we'll figure that out in a minute whenever I get rolling and I see what kind of rigidity it's gonna have with however many we go, and I will let you know how many I end up using, because these are not cheap. They're like, right now, $22, $21 a box at Home Depot. If you find them cheaper, let me know. Once again, not sponsored by anybody. Just showing you what I'm using, and maybe there's better ideas out there. Send them in the comments. I'll be back with you in just a minute. Okay, so what I thought, these are my 8-foot uprights. And what I've decided is to do a 3-hole pattern for my handy dandy bolts to fit in. I just think it'll be great, better that way. Come on, zoom in. And I guess the plus side to this, though I already have one, is that it comes with everything you need to install, other than, of course, the drill. It automatically comes with the components. So, I'm gonna start there, put one on, try and get it square and plumb, and then move over and do the next one, and then come do the back 2 at 96 inches from outside to outside. And then hopefully soon we'll be able to milk this girl, who is really enjoying her new friends, the pigs, right now. She kind of likes chasing them around. She's evidently not so used to pigs, but she's a pretty girl. Her name is Betty. We'll move from there. All right, let me try to secure the first one, or maybe all 4, and then I'll show you what I'm doing from there. All right, thank you. So now all uprights are on, and from this angle it looks like they're all kind of wiggly wobbly, but they're really pretty true and straight up and down. This one's kind of bowed out, but we'll fix that whenever we put on our braces. That'll run down each side, and our front should tighten us up a little bit, make it a little more rigid. And as we build our box, put our eye hooks on, we should hopefully be good. And I'll put a brace up here at the top, pull everything together. Hopefully, we'll get really close to a stanchion. Now that we've been going at this for almost 50 minutes, and doesn't look like I've done much. Anyway, but sometimes that's what it's like building solo. Once this is all done, we're gonna run electricity out of this building, hang us some lights, put us a plug, sorry, move fast with the camera again, put us a plug down here for whatever we might need to plug in, and milk a cow. Awesome. All right, so here is my trick for trying to get a board up that's 8 foot long, 2x6, while you're solo. So I've already went ahead and pre-started all my screws. I used 5 in each end, And what I'm gonna do is set it up on top of the clamps, go up and put one screw in, and I went ahead and I squared off and put a line, which I don't think you'll be able to see, put a line across that 4x4 so that I know exactly how low I need my bottom to be. I put one on each end. So I'll put one screw in, say, this end, and go down and make sure I'm lined up and put one screw in that end. And then I can go through, square my board up, and screw all the rest of them in and have one side up, and then I will do the exact same to that side, and I will show you once I've got it up. All right, so clamp trick works. I did double those just for rigidity of the actual frame. And actually down at this end, you're gonna have two 2x4s that kind of scissor together down here around the neck of the cow. So all in all, should work out well. Now I've got to build a frame there, put on my two pieces that run down the length. I gotta go measure the height of the cow, because I think I gotta have that somewhere around her legs or her belly. I'll double check again before I put it on, but for now, that's where I'm at. And it is 7:29, so I'm running out of daylight. Gotta keep going. Sorry, I did not get to actually video anything last night as I was finishing up with where I got to, because it got too dark to film inside of here, and I still don't have any lights or anything up. So we got the uprights, we got everything framed out and boxed in. We've got the decking done. We've got our removable 2x4s. We're just keeping the cow in position. And we went ahead, we measured the cow. Sorry for the movement. We have our solid upright that will not go anywhere. And then we have our sliding. Whoop. And I rounded off the bottom just to try and give it a little easier movement side to side. Put a bolt in, which I'm going to shear off, double bolted, because this one's never going to be coming back out. Once we get everything in here, and the first time we put the cow in and we find out where her neck will actually be, we'll put a hole through for the pin to go through, probably actually somewhere right in that range. She's got about a 7-inch neck. It's so odd. But anyway, do that, and then right now I'm going to be working on the feed box that goes in front, which will also tell me exactly how far I could leave the bolt if I wanted to, but leave some bolt. I'm going to do that once I get the feed box on. It won't be dark yet because it's only 4:14 on the Lord's Day, and we did have a wonderful, blessed day at church today. So hopefully y'all did too on your Lord's Day, no matter when you end up watching this. But I'll come back as soon as I have a feed box in place. All right, so here is the feed box, and I've got a plastic feed tray that'll go inside of here. But just wanted to go ahead and video this part. I did leave it to where that I would have access to the bolt if I needed it. For any reason whatsoever, if I had to change the board or anything to that nature, I would have access to it. But the real reason I wanted to show this is a lot of times when we're out building things, it's just us. We're not in a shop with a whole bunch of other guys, and we don't always have a whole bunch of other hands around us to help. So what I did is I held it in place with my knees on the front here and clamped it just to hold. And when you're doing this and you're looking at it, you're like, one clamp's not going to hold this thing up. I mean, that's 2x6s and so on and so forth. But realistically, when you clamp at the top, the weight digs in at the bottom and stops it from moving. So I'm flush, almost perfectly flush all the way across, except for right there, which I can tap down after I put the first screw in this side, which is flush right at the edge. Anyway, so just FYI for us DIYers, who sometimes get kind of stuck in a pickle and we're going, how in the world are we going to do this by ourselves? And I have no one else to come and help at the moment. So use little tricks. Go buy you a $5 clamp at
Harbor Freight or a $10 clamp at Lowe's or Home Depot and get going. Or, you know, go buy you a Betsy and spend a little bit more money and enjoy it for a long, long time. This is what I'm doing. I'm gonna shoot some screws in the back here, make sure they're not gonna go through to my wood over here because I don't need anything in the way of the movable board, because if it moves or does not allow me to move, which I think I got plenty of space to do what I need to do, but we're gonna shoot enough in there to make sure it is not going anywhere, and I'll show you whenever we're done. So now we have a feed bucket, and it's just a little drop in, all screwed in. Like I said, still have access to the bolt just in case I have to take it out for any reason. I also took an opportunity to build me some blockers here. I don't really know the technical term for them, the 90s on both ends, just to give it a little more rigidity. Put one on all four corners and then on each end going the opposite direction, just because whenever I gave it a little push, it was kind of wibbly wobbly. Not horrible, but enough that if I'm gonna have a 500 to 1,200 pound animal walking through here and it leans on it, I kind of want to make sure, hopefully it's not going anywhere. So now what I have left is right here. There needs to be a board that goes across on the outside that you can slide a pin through somewhere right in this neighborhood, give or take, in about the middle. I won't drill the pinhole until I've walked the cow up here, put her head up in between here, kind of closed in to know where it leaves her comfortable to be able to eat, but also stops her from being able to pull through, you know what I mean? Because the last thing we want is her to be being milked and decide to be finished before we are. So, that being said, I think I'm gonna cut my board to go across here if I still have enough boards to do it. But in doing this, my little braces, I have literally used all but maybe 4 feet of 4x4 post and 2 feet of 2x6 and about 2 feet of, maybe 3 feet of 2x4. So all in all, pretty decent on the lumber choices and getting the material. And my wife always says that when she asks me to build something or I just build something, I always go above and beyond with a million screws and more braces and more this and that, but my brain can't help it. It just immediately goes into the what if stage. Well, what if it leans on it? Well, what if someone's walking here? Well, what if this? What if that? And so I start bracing for life in those situations. But as it sits, I'm gonna go cut right there, the cross brace to go behind these 2 2x4s that are my uprights, and put it in place. And then I might see if I can walk a cow up here, put her head in it, and get my pinhole. And then I'm done with a stanchion. And I'm on day 3. Be back in a minute. All right, there's Betty. And Betty just got through taking her first trip to the new stanchion. Proof Betty's been here. She didn't ride in the wood, but she definitely left us the message. So now we have the board on, a pin through with where her neck should be. Honestly though, guys, I've seen the videos where these people make these out of these 2x4s around their neck. She pulled back pretty good, so we're gonna do quite a bit of training to get her to where that she is used to being on the stanchion. The plus side is it is almost the end of July, so it's to be exact, it is July the 24th, 2022. And supposedly she's pregnant and due somewhere around January. So we have 5 to 6 months to work with her on getting her prepped and used to the stanchion. And that is what we're going to be doing, hopefully once or twice a day, getting her used to coming out here. Now, August the 3rd, I believe it is, we're going to have Betty's horns removed. And it's not that we don't love the way she looks with her horns, she has a snuggly, head-moving Jersey cow, and we have small children, and the last thing that we want is for one of our children to be over there and her to want to snuggle and pierce anybody, and we definitely don't want to have anybody over and pierce them. So we're gonna have her horns removed, though we don't really care for that part. It's just something that we feel is smarter and safer for our family and for our friends. Next move is going to be running power out of there and lighting here and here. And then most likely putting a plug somewhere right down where that strip of screws is. But that'll be a whole different video. For now, that is the cow stanchion. And thank you for putting up with all of my horrible camera taking video here, because I'm not the best by any stretch of the imagination. But if you have any questions as far as sizes or dimensions, put it in the comments below. I can definitely give those to you. Or if you have any comments on, hey, listen buddy, you sure could have done this better a different way, let me know. If you have comments on how to train a cow to get into a stanchion and be comfortable there, put it in the comments. I need to know. Thank you.